9 experienced hikers entered the Ural Mountains on a cold February night in 1959. They never came back. When rescuers finally found them weeks later, what they discovered made no sense. Tents ripped open from the inside, bodies scattered in the snow, some half-dressed in -30-degree temperatures, radiation on their clothing, and injuries so severe, crushed ribs, a missing tongue, that doctors compared them to a car crash. No footprints of anyone else, no signs of struggle, no explanation. This is the Dyatlov Pass incident, and after 65 years, nobody knows what really happened, and the people who might have known never lived to tell it. It was January 1959. A group of 10 hikers, 9 students and 1 experienced mountaineer, set off from the city of Sverdlovsk in Soviet Russia. Their goal was to reach the summit of Otorten Mountain, a grade 3 difficulty trek, challenging but well within their abilities. They were led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student known for his careful planning and experience in the mountains. The group had done this before. They were prepared, they were trained, and they were excited. One member turned back early due to illness. That decision saved his life. The remaining 9 continued into the mountains and set up camp on the slopes of a peak the local Mansi people called Kholatsiakhl. In their language, that name means dead mountain. When the group failed to return on schedule, a search party was sent out. What they found on February 26th would shock the entire Soviet Union. The tent was still standing, but it had been cut open from the inside, deliberately, as if someone needed to escape immediately and had no time to use the entrance. All 9 pairs of boots were still inside the tent, in -30-degree temperatures. The hikers had run out into the snow, barefoot, or in their socks. Footprints led down the mountain slope, calm, measured steps, not running, walking, as if they were moving away from something terrible, but weren't panicking. Then the footprints disappeared into the snow. The first 2 bodies were found at the edge of a nearby forest, barefoot, dressed only in underwear, traces of a small fire nearby, as if they had tried to stay warm. Both had died of hypothermia. Near them, leaning against a tree, was the body of Igor Dyatlov himself. His pose suggested he had been trying to crawl back toward the tent when he died. Three more bodies were found shortly after. All died of hypothermia, all strangely underdressed. But it was the final 4, found 2 months later under 4 meters of snow, that truly terrified investigators. These 4 had clearly survived longer than the others. They had taken clothing from the dead bodies of their friends to stay warm. They had even built a small shelter under the snow. But their injuries were unlike anything the medical examiners had ever seen. Lyudmila Dubinina had suffered 2 fractured ribs on the right side and 2 on the left. Her heart was damaged and her tongue was missing, not removed, not torn, simply gone, along with her eyes. Investigators noted there was no blood in or around the mouth, suggesting these were not animal injuries, something else entirely. Semyon Zolotaryov had the same fractured rib pattern and massive chest trauma. The Soviet medical examiner said the force required to cause these fractures was equivalent to a car crash at high speed, but there were absolutely no external wounds on the skin, no bruising, no cuts, as if the force came from within or from a massive pressure wave. And then the radiation. When the clothing of several victims was tested, it showed abnormally high levels of radioactive contamination. The Soviet government classified the investigation, sealed the area for 3 years, and closed the case with a single chilling conclusion. The hikers died as a result of an unknown compelling force. Dozens of theories have emerged over the decades. Theory 1. An avalanche. The most accepted scientific explanation today suggests a rare delayed slab avalanche may have caused the hikers to flee in panic. The specific snow conditions can create a pressure wave strong enough to cause internal injuries without skin damage. But it doesn't explain the radiation, or the missing tongue, or why the footprints showed calm walking, not running. Theory 2. Military testing. The Soviet Union was conducting secret weapons tests in the Ural region during this period. Some researchers believe the group may have accidentally witnessed a secret military exercise, or been caught in the blast radius of an experimental weapon. This would explain the radiation, the government cover-up, and the classified files. Theory 3. Infrasound. Certain wind conditions in mountain passes can create infrasound, sound frequencies below human hearing, that cause extreme psychological terror, paranoia, and even hallucinations. Some scientists believe infrasound drove the hikers to madness, causing them to flee their tent in a state of absolute panic. Theory 4. The Mansi people. Local indigenous tribes warned outsiders about Dead Mountain, claiming it was sacred and dangerous. Some early theories blamed a Mansi attack, but no evidence ever supported this. And Theory 5. The one that refuses to go away. Multiple witnesses in the region reported seeing strange orange spheres of light over the mountains on the same night the hikers died. Some of these were documented in official Soviet records. Every theory explains something. None of them explains everything. And that is exactly what makes this case impossible to close. In 2019, Russia reopened the investigation. After months of analysis, they officially concluded it was an avalanche. Most researchers disagreed. The classified Soviet files have still not been fully released. Key evidence went missing decades ago, and the question of the radiation, the missing tongue, and the orange lights in the sky remains completely unanswered. 9 experienced hikers, one night on Dead Mountain, and 65 years later. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most disturbing and genuinely unexplained events in modern history. And if you want more buried secrets and dark history that the world tried to forget, subscribe to Dark Void Archives.